Hello world, this is your boy Kamani and Koo, and this is Black Gardener Talk, episode number 4. That's right. So, black people across the world is reconnecting with their roots. So, this is Black Gardener Talk. Again, I want to say welcome everyone. I'm waiting for my guests to join us. But like I said, black people across the world are now reconnecting to their roots, the land, gardening, farming, and all that good stuff. So, Black Gardener Talk is just that. Me talking to black gardeners worldwide. Today, my guest is going to be Natasha DeLong, aka Oshi Grows. I'm going to get her in the room so we can get it popping. Hold on a second, everyone. Hopefully she joined in. What's up? Hope everybody's having a great morning. Tell a friend. What's
Hey,
up?
how you doing?
Hey,
Good
you hear me?
morning.
Can you hear me? I'm doing
Yes, can you
well.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How are
Good.
you feeling today?
I'm doing good. A little bit
Okay.
nervous, but I'm
Yeah,
good.
don't be nervous. I mean, I was nervous when I started, so it's all good. We in here together, but I'm excited to have you today. Like I was saying in the intro, black people across America and the world is reconnecting back to the land. Their roots, gardening, farming. Black and brown people are doing it every day. So Black Gardener Talk is basically just us talking black gardening. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I think we need that safe space sometimes. I don't want to offend anybody with the name Black Gardener Talk, but sometimes we just got to have our own space, and that's what it's up. That's what's
Yeah,
up. So how you feeling today?
I'm good. I'm good. I hope you
Okay.
can hear me. My voice is coming back. I'm recovering a little bit from being, from laryngitis, but I'm good.
Okay. So tell folks a little bit about you, like where you're from and how you got started in gardening.
So, I'm from, well, I grew up in North Carolina, so I spent most of my life in North Carolina. Originally from Texas. I currently live in Maryland. So I've been in Maryland for 11 years now. Um, but well, I guess that yeah, but that's me. I'm really really into gardening, as you can tell. But I love growing things. So whether it's outside in my garden, on my the deck on the back of my house, or it's in my house. I have a lot of house plants as well. I like growing things. It's exciting to me to watch them grow from a seed, or whether it's a plant that I purchased, the idea of keeping it alive, just the process of keeping them alive.
That's what's up. Someone said, "Oh, she grows is in the house." Yes, she is definitely in the house,
Yeah.
and we're just talking black gardening. Um, did you have a garden growing up, and what was it like if you did?
So I didn't have a garden growing up, but my grandparents and my great grandparents did. So I grew up around it. Like my grandparents had like my grandpa had a garden behind the house, and he grew okra and strawberries and stuff like that. And I spent some summers with my great grandparents, which they had a tobacco farm, and they had a little garden as well. So we had to, well, going to the grocery store was not really a thing because they lived so far out in the country. So most
Mm.
of what the vegetables that they ate were grown in the garden in, the backyard or the side of the house actually. So I learned how to harvest potatoes, like dig them up out of the ground, or shucking corn, snapping peas, all the country things that people in the country did. And to me, it was normal, but I didn't realize until I got a little bit older and actually moved away from that area that you know growing food in your backyard, it wasn't that accessible, and you did have to actually go to the grocery store for fruits and vegetables. So I did grow up with fresh vegetables, growing up, and like the whole garden thing being normal and part of my everyday, or at least in the summers it was like everyday thing.
So when you came to Maryland, is that when you started your garden, or did you start it previous somewhere else?
I actually started it before. So before I moved to Maryland, once I became an adult and I had a place of my own, I started growing or attempting to grow vegetables on my balcony in totes. And that was at least 10 years ago. So, like I started with one tote and I tried to grow cucumbers and tomatoes in it, but I didn't like fully understand, lighting and space and all that stuff. So I tried it, things sprouted, nothing ever fruited. And I just I was like, oh, well, that didn't work. So it's kind of like an experiment. And then once I moved to Maryland, I, started doing it a little bit more. And bought a house 2 years ago. So when we bought our house, so my husband and myself, when we bought our house 2 years ago, I actually had space to garden like I wanted to. But even before the house and the apartment, like I had a patio garden. So I actually grew watermelon on my balcony, greens on my balcony. I attempted to grow potatoes in a pot. So I've been trying for a while, or I guess testing things out, experimenting for a while, and now I have the space that I want to be able to do, to grow like I really want to.
That's what's up. So, folks, if you don't have a yard, you can balcony garden. You can do it on a patio. You can do
Mm-hmm.
all that good stuff. Don't be scared. And like Oshi Groves said, she didn't give up. She nothing happened the first time she started growing the stuff in the pots, but it didn't happen, and she never gave up. So don't give up if your first attempt doesn't produce anything. I know my first time. I mean, I got strawberries
Out the
everywhere.
grocery store. Yeah.
I couldn't think of the word I wanted to say. But yeah, I have strawberries. That was my first plant that I grew. And I grew those in the ground. I put them in the ground by mistake. And those strawberries are still growing in my yard. It's been about 12 years now. So yeah, don't give up, folks. So her first garden was her balcony garden. Then you moved to Maryland and you had a big old yard. And then y'all got to go on her Instagram page and see her garden. It is massive back there. It looks like it's nothing else but gardening back then. How do your family like that? Like, because it looks like, I mean, I'm not sure how big your yard is, but it looks like your entire backyard is a garden.
That's actually not the whole back. That's just the side of the house.
Okay.
But and it is actually pretty big. I will say I am fortunate enough to have the space that I have to grow, everything that I want to grow. And that list continues to grow on a daily basis. I see something and I'm like, ooh, I like to try that. I'm gonna try that in my garden. So I have a huge seed collection just because I see stuff all the time that I want to try to grow. So I try. I don't have a problem attempting or experimenting with growing. So I'll drop a seed for, just about anything to see if I can grow it. Especially, how in different climates things grow differently, or people may say you can't grow that in Maryland because it gets too cold, or stuff like that. But I'm gonna try it anyway because it may be something that I really really want to try.
Try. I get
Mhm.
you. I get you. I get that all the time. How can you grow a dragon fruit in Maryland?
Right.
How can you grow a pomegranate in Maryland? How can you grow a banana tree in Maryland? I just did it. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
just put the seeds together, or well, with the banana plant, I actually bought that online. But with the pomegranate seeds, I actually just took them and just threw them out in the yard. Actually, and they're
From a grocery store pomegranate.
yeah, grocery store pomegranate, and they're growing everywhere. And then I felt like over the wintertime, one of them did die. So then I started looking into pomegranate trees that can stay outside in Maryland, and I found one that's called like a Russian variety, and any Russian variety can stay outside. So this year was the first time it actually produced, and I'm so excited.
Well, I'm
Um,
adding that one to the list next.
yeah. So I have like 3 or 4 pomegranates on the tree, and then the ones like I said from the grocery store I just threw out, and they're growing in my front yard now. So I'm gonna leave them out in the front yard this time, but I'm gonna wrap them up with some kind of cover cloth to see if they last through the winter, and then if they last through the winter, hopefully I'll get some pomegranates. But yeah, folks, don't be scared to experiment with different things. What is the most unusual seed or vegetable that you grew that you didn't think you can grow?
So I'm gonna say kohlrabi. I've never heard of it. Well, that's one.
Hmm.
Kohlrabi, because I've never heard of it, never even seen it. It looks like a little alien to me. So it was really interesting to watch it grow. And then when I actually tasted it, like I tasted the leaves taste really good. Like you can eat the leaves of the kohlrabi raw in salads, or you can cook them like cabbage. But then the actual bulb of the vegetable, it was interesting, just experimenting, learning how to cook it. Or I mean, again, you could eat it fresh, eat it raw, or you could cook it as well. But that, and then ground cherries, I had never
Uh,
heard of a ground cherry until I think last year. um, and I have one growing in my garden right now. Like I'm excited about that.
kohlrabi, I'm doing that now. Like you said, I never seen it before. So I have the purple one. They have green ones and purple one. I
Yeah,
have
I
the
have the
purple
green
one.
ones. Mhm.
And so I'm excited to see what it looks like. I'm not sure. You said it tastes good, so I'm gonna take your word and
It
try
tastes
to.
so. Have you ever eaten like broccoli, the stem of a broccoli plant?
Hmm.
That's what it tastes like to me. It tastes like broccoli stems. So,
Okay.
but it's it's big. It's very dense. It smells like cabbage, and the leaves taste like a mild cabbage, but it's good. I like it. But I love vegetables, and I probably eat a lot of vegetables that most people don't. But I do. I love vegetables. So
Yeah. So
there's
I'm
not
trying
really
that, like
one
you
that I
said.
won't eat except for squash.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying the kohlrabi. And so it's the purple kind. It's growing. The bugs got to it a little bit, but I sprayed some
Mhm.
neem oil on it. So hopefully those bugs will go away so it can.
Slugs like
Um,
it a lot, by the way.
yeah. But but it's about to get cold, so And then I grow all year too, so I grow outside as
Mhm.
well. I put cover cloths over everything, and those vegetables tend to do well in the winter time. So
Mhm.
that's what's up. Someone said I have enjoyed watching her garden grow from the ground breaking. That's
Miss
what's up.
Kelly.
49er babe
Mhm.
since '89.
Yes, that's my little sister.
Okay,
Hey,
that's what's
Kelly.
up.
I'm sure Allie and Marley watching too. Hey, Allie.
Yeah,
Hey, Marley.
that's what's up. Where do you get your seeds from?
Everywhere, anywhere. Like with my watermelon seeds, I ordered a couple of them, or well, got them. I get them from the Dollar Tree. I get them from Dollar General. If I'm at a restaurant and like I have fruit and there's seeds in it, I will put those seeds in a napkin and take them home. Um, any vegetable or fruit that I eat that I purchase from the grocery store, I will save the seeds from those because it's stuff that I eat on a regular basis. So I really like to grow what I eat instead of growing anything that I don't, because that's just, I feel like that's a waste of my garden space when I could be growing stuff that I eat, unless it's just a novelty of something that I just want to see if I can grow it or what it looks like, once I
That's
grow it.
what's up. I love that. I mean, that's how I am now. I'm at the point now where I'm grow almost everything. So that's really exciting that other people are taking that leap. Because most people don't take that leap. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, I never really liked eggplant before, and until maybe like 5 years ago. I think I had it at
Yeah.
a function, and they just did not do it well. And but I was like, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna grow it. I'm gonna see how it does. And now I'm in love with eggplant. It's like I make eggplant meatballs, eggplant fries. I mean, lasagna. I make eggplant bacon. I do it all. So I think folks out there, if you're thinking about growing food, if you haven't grown food, just experiment with different things. Like Oshi Grows says, that's what's up. What's the next question I have? What is the hardest plant you ever tried to grow?
Cabbage, by far, cabbage. I have failed at growing cabbage 3 times. Like it'll grow, like with seeds, I've gotten them to grow from seed to a certain point, and then the slugs. eat them. Like slugs are probably my biggest garden pest. They eat everything and anything that I grow. So it's been a challenge growing.
Okay. She froze a little bit. I'll wait till she reconnects. But yeah, the bugs are the worst, y'all. But now I try to grow the greens in the wintertime because it's less bugs. It's cold. The only problem is starting off in August. Um, the bugs will get to them. So by the time like November rolls around, the bugs are gone. But greens and all your leafy greens grow in the wintertime. Hopefully she'll reconnect. She lost the connection. Let me see if I can get her back in. Hopefully pop back in. But yeah, this is Black Gardener Talk, folks. This is Black
There we go. Sorry about
Gardener.
that. I don't know what happened to my
Yeah, it's
connection.
okay. I mean, it is what it is. It's the internet, right? Try using
Yes.
eggplants to deter them. Eggshells, yeah. We try to do everything here in Maryland. Like I was telling the folks before you popped out, was I try to grow my greens, all my leafy greens during the wintertime. The problem is that August, that late August to now, fighting those bugs until it can get really cold. When it gets really cold, the kale and the collard greens do really well. The rutabagas, the turnips do really well. You
Spinach.
know, it's
I
just
grew spinach in the snow. Like it
yeah.
snowed on it and it was just fine. Like it snowed doesn't, the cold doesn't bother spinach.
And
Because
grandma and them, I always say grandma and them.
yeah,
Grandma and them always used to say, let that snow, let that frost hit those greens, those collard greens, those spinach. It'll taste so much better. So
yeah,
that's what
it
grandma
actually
used to always
sweetens
say.
it a little bit. Yeah.
So yeah, everybody's like, oh, one Auntie Gardner 2021 said you her favorite girl gardener. Go ahead.
Hey, Auntie Garden. I want to.
Red,
I want to give a.
yeah, red fire war wizard said he can't grow cabbage either. Um, I can grow
We're gonna get
cabbage,
it
but
together. We'll get it together.
I'm growing it now. I just looked out there this morning. It was some ate up leaves. What is your favorite vegetable or fruit that you've grown that you like love, like you can't get enough of it?
My blueberries. I could not believe that I grew two varieties of blueberries and they actually produced blueberries and they were so good. So I grew a blueberry called a Rica blueberry and they look just like the ones you see in the grocery store. But I also grew a pink lemonade blueberry and the pink lemonade blueberry I mean, it was exciting to grow it and actually see the berries develop and ripen and for me to actually eat them. But they were really good. Like it's called pink lemonade blueberry
Oh yeah,
because it really
definitely.
does taste like pink lemonade. Like they're really good. So that's probably been my favorite thing growing. But besides that, and my asparagus beans, which they're just a long bean, or they're called yard long beans, something like that. But they grow up to like 2 feet long. So watching those grow, I have a like a archway trellis entering my garden, and I just love seeing those hanging down in that on that trellis. And then my watermelon. I mean, yeah, the watermelon surprises me every time. But
Yeah,
those are
they can
probably my
surprise
favorite.
you. I
Hmm.
actually had the orange one this year, and it was really small, about this size, but
Okay,
I was happy with it. Um, it tastes really, really sweet.
it
And then I
did.
had a white flesh one. The white flesh one was really this small too. And I got those seeds from a company that I will no longer support. But
Okay,
yeah, it was
all
a
right.
white flesh one. But the pink lemonade blueberries is, I mean, incredible, y'all. I got my pink lemonade bush off online, and last fall and this summer it finally produced something, and me and the birds were fighting um over them, but I think I won um them. So what have you planted for the fall? It's fall season now.
My
I got
plan
my
for
fall mug
yeah.
going on. Someone said they love my mug. This is my fall mug. What are you growing now for the fall? Did you freeze again? Yes, I got some ate up the leaves, edges just gone. You guys need to make a grow course if you don't have a YouTube like the fallen expert instructor. I do have a YouTube. It's coming. Um, I'm just waiting for the right time. It takes a lot to edit videos. Um, Red Fire War Wizard. It takes a lot to edit a video. If you want to come and edit some of my videos, you can edit my videos and then we can put them up on YouTube. But starting in January 2022, I'm going to have a whole bunch of online classes right there on my website. This website is gardeningbeats.com. I'm going to have some classes up there. I'm also going to have some speaking engagements that you can come and see me speak. I'm waiting for her to reconnect, y'all. But this is Black Gardener Talk, episode 4, where Oshi grows. And Black Gardener Talk is basically black and brown people reconnecting to the land, gardening, farming worldwide. And I'm going to be talking to a lot of different people up until December 18th. And then we're going to kick off season 2 in February for Black History Month. Yeah, I got Growth Flow 19 in the room. She's gonna be on in a couple weeks. I'm gonna pull up on you. Yeah, pull up and edit these videos for my YouTube channel. I'm just waiting for her to reconnect. Hopefully she can reconnect. Um, Auntie Garden, so nice to you, proud of you. Here we go. I'm gonna get her again. And we just rolling with it, y'all. It's just rolling with it, you know. Last week, a couple weeks
Okay,
ago, I couldn't
hopefully
really
this
do
is
it.
the last time that happens.
Yeah, it's
I do
all good.
apologize. I'm actually not at home. I'm in Pennsylvania with my friend. We are tailgating. Her son plays football up here, so we're up here watching him play, and the internet is very, very spotty. So I
That's
think
okay.
I think I'm good, and we should be good from here.
Okay, that's
Thank you for
good.
your patience.
So we was talking about fall gardening. What are you growing for the fall?
So for the fall, okay, let's run down the list. I got peas growing, so like sugar snap peas. I'm growing, of course, I'm trying cabbage again. A couple different varieties of cabbage. I have some green kohlrabi that I'm growing. Lots of collard greens, spinach, mostly leafy greens, turnips, beets, radishes, a lot of greens. But
Okay.
currently I have peas growing, like black eyed peas, and I'm growing my black eyed peas, and I'm hoping to get some good collard greens, because for New Year's Eve I always make a good luck gumbo. So I want to grow my own black eyed peas and collard greens to make my good luck gumbo with this year.
That's what's up. I mean, you're gonna do well with the black eyed peas. I'm kind of scared of like the weather because it is changing fast. But
Mm-hmm.
I've grown lots of black eyed peas. I've had like jars full of black eyed peas. One of the easiest things ever. I tried that maybe like 3 years ago, and I was surprised how many I got.
Okay.
This year, I grew my own pinto beans, and I just harvested some of those yesterday. Um, and they were still growing. They were like, oh, I thought it was string beans because I planted string beans in the same area, but I never got any of the string beans, but a couple, and those things end up turning into the pinto beans. And then I also did black chickpeas. So I
Black
tried to
chickpeas.
black chickpeas, and I got like a little, maybe I got like a little candle burner, about this size, black chickpeas. So we'll see what happens.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting. That was my first time. I never heard of black chickpeas.
Me neither.
Yeah, so I found those. Well, I had this so called Black Garden, Black Lives Matter Garden, and it did not.
I did see you plant that last year with all
Yeah,
of your black vegetables and stuff.
yeah. So some of them didn't do too well. So that's why I'm not supporting that company anymore. I
Okay.
think I got some dud seeds. How has gardening changed you since you first started?
It has definitely helped my patience increase. I am probably one of the most impatient people you will ever meet. And gardening has forced me to be patient, because you can't just throw a seed in the ground and Like you can't put a tomato seed in the ground and then have a tomato tomorrow or even next week. It takes time. But watching it grow from that seed to actually having a tomato in your hand is exciting to me. So it's helped me with my patience. Um, that's one thing. I mean, growing a garden makes you more aware of your environment, like your carbon footprint, how much things, like how many things we waste. Um, so I've become a lot more conscious when it comes to the environment. Like I actually compost.
That's
And
what's up.
not just a little bit. I have 3 compost bins, and I'm thinking about making a bigger like composting area. So I'm more conscious about, my food waste and stuff like that. So
That's
that's
what's up.
probably
Y'all get into composting. I'm in composting. I've been composting now for 7 years. I have two 60-gallon compost bins in my backyard. And I just put them all the way in the backyard so like the
mm,
pests or anything won't get in them. But I do have a 6 foot fence around my garden in the back, so I don't have any problems with deer or squirrels. Sometimes they like to eat the peaches and different things like that. But they don't go in the compost bin. But get into composting, y'all. Get into it. She's about to go even bigger, and yeah, I watch my waste a lot. Um, so that's great that you're in composting. What quality should a black gardener have? That's
I
my
mean, well, resilience, I'll say that. I mean, which that kind of comes with being a black person. You do have to, there's lots of things that we have to overcome on a daily basis. So, gardening, you got to be resilient because things may not work out like you planned, but sometimes it's a good thing because you might, like, I'll say, for instance, I have a yellow pear tomato in my garden. I planted one little itty bitty, I mean, tiny seed. I had no idea that that thing was going to grow into a tomato tree and that it was going to give me so many tomatoes. Like it gave me so many tomatoes, I didn't even know what to do with them. So, like, but then I grew a cantaloupe that it only grew one cantaloupe. And because I was gone away for 3 days, it ripened and the bugs had a feast on my cantaloupe. So I never even got to taste it. But I know it was ripe and it had to be delicious the way they
tore it
devoured
up. That's how I know when my peaches are ready. So the peaches, I have this huge peach tree now. Um, and I know it's ready when the squirrels start coming. Because at first I'll be like trying it and it's like, oh, it's not ready, it's not ready. So now I'll watch for the squirrels. And when I see one drop on the ground and halfway move through the yard, I was like, oh, it's time.
it.
They're
Yeah.
ready.
Nature will let you know when your stuff is ready if you have no idea.
Yeah.
Nature will let you know.
And that's a great thing. Go by what the squirrels might do. Also, my cherry tree, I knew when it was ready this year as well because the birds start coming. But the birds, they feast off those what are those things that happen? The cicadas. So they didn't bother the cherry tree this year. But yeah,
Yeah.
nature will
You
tell
have a
you.
lot of fruits. Like you have a lot in your garden. You really
Hmm.
do. You grow a lot in your garden.
So my garden is separated. What I have a garden box, right? Like a
Hmm.
one garden box, and then there's a tree, then there's a garden box, and then there's a tree. I have 9 garden boxes and nine. Well, I have more than 9 fruit trees, but each garden box is separated by a fruit tree, and I'm excited because I have persimmons this year. I'm really excited,
Oh,
and
that is pretty cool.
I picked 5 of them the other day, so I'm really excited about that.
What you gonna
Um,
make with them?
huh?
What are you gonna make
I'm
with
just
your
gonna.
persimmon?
So how I eat my persimmons, I just slice them up and then I'll put like some tahini sauce on it or some chili powder, um, and eat it like that. I have this thing called pico limo or something that I got from the Mexican store, the Spanish store, and it's really hot. It's like really hot and spicy, and I like to put that on it so it gives it a sweet and spicy flavor. So yeah,
Mm.
I really love that. Yeah, get a peach tree. You need to get a peach tree down in there.
I have
Um,
two actually. I just bought two peach trees and two pear trees.
okay.
Um, so I have four. Well, in addition to my two blueberry trees, and I have one blackberry bush.
What kind of pear tree did you buy?
I don't remember. It's Lowe's had them.
Okay.
But it's two
Yeah.
different. It's two different kinds because they need companions to pollinate. So I've got two of them that are their companions. So whenever they're small, they haven't started to produce any buds or anything. So hopefully next year maybe we'll get some buds and I'll get like one or two. I'm
Oh,
hoping.
you will.
Yeah.
And also don't count out like Home Depot and Lowe's. I don't like to plug them, but I do work for Home Depot. Um,
Okay.
they pay. I work there part time. I have to go there as soon as this is over. I have to go, but I got my peach tree from there like yeah, a year ago, 2 years ago now, and it was a really small tree. And this year, like I was taller than the tree when I first got it. Now it's 8 feet tall,
Oh,
and it's about 100 peaches was on it this year. Last year probably was about 80 on there. So I'm going to cut it back this year because it's just getting really, really big. I didn't know it was going to get that big, but it was a self-pollinating one. So
okay.
I didn't need any other thing. And then the pear tree is an Asian pear. I thought I was buying like a regular pear tree, but it's not a regular pear tree. It's a Asian pear tree, and it has 5 types of Asian pears growing on it at one time. So I
Oh,
got
that is neat.
yeah, I got that from Home Depot. Because I got it on discount when it was.
I mean, you the plug. You get the discount because you work there. I did buy a Meyer lemon tree from Home Depot recently. It was on clearance, 50% off. So
Oh yeah.
that was good.
So always, folks, this is the time to buy clearance items for your garden. This is the best time. Or right after now that because I work in retail now. So after 4th of July is when all the garden supplies, all the plants, all the fruit trees, everything go on sale like a discount. So make sure that you're buying your supplies and everything for the next year after 4th of July, and then definitely after Labor Day. They're marked down maybe even 80 to 90%
Taking
after
that
Labor Day.
note.
Yeah. And seeds, if you buy your seeds from the big box store, they're gone by July. So always try to get your seeds early and just stock up on your seeds. I know at Home Depot, they start putting out their seeds in December, which is crazy to me. But just who's thinking about gardening? But I'm thinking about gardening, but most people are
Yeah,
not thinking about
yeah.
gardening in December. But yeah, they put them right out after Christmas, and that's when the season really gets started. But for the folks that grow all year round, we're always looking for seeds.
Always.
Yeah.
Especially like I think last year there was a shortage.
Yes.
Um,
Oh yeah.
so there was a seed shortage. So now I'm like, anytime I see seeds, I'll grab a packet or two just because I don't want to, have to experience that again. Or I want to be able to make sure that I'm able to grow what I want to because I have the seeds available. Yeah.
Yep, that's right. And also, folks, just collect the seeds because you never know when the next pandemic's gonna come. You don't know when the apocalypse is gonna come. And if you know how to grow your own food, you're gonna be able to survive. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's what I've been trying to get across to people that look like me and you, that it's worth investing in growing your own food, whether you have a patio or kitchen windowsill or big garden. Like I have a half an acre in my yard. So even if you have a big yard, start saving your seeds from the things that you eat, the things that you grow, share seeds between each other, and let's reconnect to the land. That's what it's
Yeah.
all about, and growing our own food. This spring, I'm starting a project where I'm going to be going to all my neighbors in my community, knocking on the doors, giving them seeds and giving them starter plants, and they can choose to take it or not take it. You know what I'm saying? But that's one of my goals that I want to do. Save those seeds,
Cool.
y'all. What advice would you give a new gardener? So I wouldn't classify you as a new gardener, but at one point you were a new gardener.
Mhm.
What advice would you give a new gardener?
Don't give up. Like that's number one. Don't give up, because it's so easy to, when you try something and it doesn't work out, try it again. I mean, it just don't give up, because it's very rewarding once it does click. Once it clicks and you get your groove, it's so fun. Then it's addictive. So once that first seed sprouts and you get a fruit from it, you're not gonna stop, because it's like, oh well, I got this to work. Well, let me see if I can get this to work too.
That's what's up, y'all. Did y'all hear that advice? I agree with it. So a little bit about me. How I got into gardening was I fell into a bad state of depression, wanted to commit suicide. My mom said start a garden. I didn't want to start a garden. I hated being outside. That's crazy, right? I hated being outside. I would pay people to cut the grass. I would never be outside. So finally, I listened to her somewhere in my head. I listened to her and I put those strawberries. She said start with something that you like, which was always strawberries. I got some
Mm-hmm.
strawberry starter plants and put those in the ground, and they took over. And from there, I mean, it really changed my life. It saved my life. I got so addicted to it that I started adding stuff every year, every year, every year, every year, every year. So, folks, the best advice is don't give up. Keep trying and plant as many different things and try it. If you don't
Yes.
like eggplant, if you don't like squash, then don't grow that no more. But don't set out and say, "Oh, I'm not going to experiment with different things." And my whole thing with my whole Garden of Beats platform is also once you grow it, how do you prepare it? You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
as I grow along, that's what I'm gonna be coming with more and more recipes and get my YouTube and everything. I was telling them, I think you might have cut out at the time, but to do a YouTube channel, you basically got to have a team, and it's hard. You know what I'm saying? Just getting on Instagram and then going on fan base and then TikTok and trying to grow your base is really
Yeah.
hard. I'm sure you can agree with that, right?
Yes. So TikTok, I'm on TikTok, and TikTok is so fun for me. Well, it's fun because, well, I like music. Now, my taste in music is eclectic. It does not compare to yours at all. Like, you have a very good taste in music. I really like following the artists that you introduced me to. Um, Really good, really good. So TikTok, you get to kind of merge music and, a little bit of fun, and teach a little bit, so I can showcase or teach a little bit in 30 seconds or less. So I like that. Um, I have a YouTube channel as well. I just started my YouTube channel in like February. So it's still kind of up and coming. It's still growing. And that's mostly because I don't post very much. I have tons of videos, but the editing to get them posted does take some time. I'm working on that though. So I'm actually working on getting at least a video posted every week. So, you know, follow my YouTube channel. It's Tasha Oshi Grows. Um, but YouTube is fun as well, and it's very it's interesting. The YouTube gardening community is strong. It's a tight knit gardening community as well. So, but you definitely need to get on there. You do get your
Mhm.
channel started.
Yeah, I mean this there is just hard, and
Yeah. Well, you
it's
do
just
a
hard
lot.
to edit.
You do a
And the
lot.
crazy part is I edit in my daytime job, so when I come home, I don't want to edit anything else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like me and most folks don't know, but me and Natasha are working on a project right now, and it's
Yeah.
still on my computer.
It's okay. But I'm
Yeah.
I'm excited to see this one, because this is fun. It's been fun.
So I would say it's like 85% done. And I want to have it out by at least Tuesday of this week because the countdown for it is kind of like going away. But yeah, look out for me and Natasha. We're doing some
Yeah.
stuff. Um, and we doing our little acting thing. So get ready,
Yes.
y'all. For you can see me acting and Natasha acting as well as some other garden people that I have met across this platform. We're gonna be doing a lot of different things in the next couple of weeks. My next question will be, where's the question now? Where do you spend most of your time in the garden and why?
Where do I spend most of my time? I mean, all over the garden, just because, well, there's constantly weeding that needs to be done, harvesting. Like, I'll go out with the intentions to, okay, I need to go clean this, area up. And while I'm out there cleaning up, I find, oh, well, these tomatoes have ripened. Or, oh, there's a cucumber that I didn't know was growing right there. Or, oh, there's a whole gang of beans that I didn't know were growing over here. So it I can say I'm going out for 5 minutes and end up out there for an hour because of the surprises that I find out there. And it's a welcome, like the time. It's not like, oh my gosh, I'm out here for an hour. Like, I really enjoy being out there, even though mosquitoes in my backyard are ridiculous and the slugs really get on my nerves. But it's still, I still like it. It's still rewarding.
Yeah, I think those surprises that you always see is really like um really worth it. I decided to grow some loofahs, try loofahs for the very first time, and I got those seeds from that same place that I don't want to support anymore. And I put those seeds out there, and I was like, there go another batch that didn't happen. And I
Oh,
walked out there like a couple weeks ago, and it's like 20 loofahs all over the backyard, hiding under the vines and everything. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them yet, but I did try to eat one. They said you can eat it, so I ate
mhm.
one, and it tastes like a sweet zucchini,
Okay.
which was really really good. But yeah, it's about 20 some loofahs hanging out in the backyard.
Look at that.
And so I'm really really excited about that. Have you made any mistakes while learning? Like, what is one of your biggest mistakes that you learned gardening?
Um, Watering, not watering enough, um, not keeping my seedlings moist enough, um, or yeah, those are probably the two main ones. Or starting things at the wrong time. Like, I attempted to grow garlic last year. Excuse me. And it was wintertime and I was just so impatient about getting out in the yard and wanting to put something out in the garden and growing, just getting out in the garden to do stuff. And I had some garlic that had sprouted in my kitchen. So I put it in a pot and it actually grew like in the pot in the window. It was like December, January. But I didn't know that garlic needed to be outside in the winter to actually, like, you needed to plant it before frost came. So I'm thinking that it needed to stay warm, and it never really grew anything other than the green stems because it I didn't give it what it actually needed. So learning those hard, learning or making those mistakes to actually learn and to grow better is, yeah. You
Yeah, that's
gotta you gotta make mistakes. You
yeah,
have
that's
to.
what's up. Folks, if you want to plant garlic, the time is now.
Now, yeah.
This Monday, I will be doing a live planting my own garlic in my yard. So tune in. I'm going to do some garlic in the front yard. I'm going to do some in the backyard. And I had my first successful gardening or garlic harvest this year. Like I said, I was like you. I was thinking maybe it needs to be in the summertime so it could be hot and blah blah blah. The leaves did grow up, but I never got any bulbs other than the little one that I planted. But
Yeah.
you can also eat the stem. Make sure that you eating your garlic stems, okay? You can do that. But if you want to grow garlic now, get it now. You can just go to your local grocery store and get the little packs of garlic that's in
Mhm.
those little netted bags, and that
That's what I
works.
use. Yep.
Yep, that works.
Yep.
But this year I'm gonna experiment with some spicy Thai garlic. It's supposed to be really really hot and spicy,
Oh.
so I'm gonna try that. And then the elephant garlic that looks like the size of this mug.
Yes, the giant garlic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna try those, and I think I'll be successful because I managed to do the pink garlic, and which was pink, and now it's black because I put it in a jar to ferment and to turn
Oh,
it to black garlic, and then I'm gonna dry that out in the next couple of weeks, and then grind it up, and then I'm gonna have my own
black garlic folks get into black garlic.
You're gonna show us that process,
Yes,
right? Okay.
yes,
Okay.
yes. I have a little grinder that grinds everything up into like a powder almost, or well, you don't with the garlic. I won't as do it as grind it as much, so it can be a little bit more flaky. But I did grow collard greens, and I made collard green flour. And I'm gonna experiment with some good luck gumbo, like you said, good luck gumbo. I'm
Yes.
gonna do like I'm gonna try. It might be weird, but I'm gonna do like a bread around New Year's where it's gonna be collard greens and black eyed peas together. I'm gonna see how that turns out. I,
That's interesting, but I mean that's one thing you can experiment with because you growing it yourself, so you can
yeah,
try that. You not worry about, oh well, I bought these greens, 5 big leaves for $2 from the grocery store, and now I'm gonna try this bread, and now I wasted my money if it doesn't work out. You grow your own. It's like, well, I'm gonna put these aside while I can still continue to eat, the rest of them.
yeah, because I did garlic no celery salt, and so I grew the celery this year, but that was a whole mess. It was a whole mess. So I didn't know what I was doing, and I read a recipe where you had to grind it up into like a paste almost, and then dehydrate it, and it was it was green stuff everywhere, and I won't do that no more. And I actually, I fixed the blade, but I have a Vitamix, and that Vitamix was top of the line Vitamix, almost $700, and I messed the blade up in it.
uh,
But I was able to go in and take the blade out and clean the celery. Kind of like got wrapped around the blade, and I was able to clean it out and get it fixed. So I was happy about that because I spent $700 on this blender.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna do that no more. And I didn't even get to the last part of showing people how I grind it up. I just grind it up, put it in the jar, and was like done with it. I did
Yeah,
the chopping down the celery, and then I showed them how I made the stuff with the paste and put it in dehydrator. But I was like, I'm done with it.
that's it. Yeah.
Um, have you shared your gardening wisdoms or tips to your personal friends? Not on Facebook, not on Instagram, not on YouTube, not on TikTok, but your personal friends, and have they started their own gardens after you gave them your garden wisdom?
Yeah, so I do have a friend who doesn't live far from me, T. She has actually started growing on her back deck. She doesn't grow on the ground or in the ground because her grass is actually, they have a very nice lawn, but she wants to grow things, and she has tomatoes that she's growing on her back deck. She has cabbage, and I know she started some herb seeds, but like, she'll hit me up every now and again and ask questions, or like she invited me over the summer, and I was able to come over and take a look at stuff. So she's actually started growing, or just some of my friends from Facebook. When I post stuff, I get inboxes of someone showing like, hey, you inspired me to grow this. Like, I had no idea that they even had a garden or that they were growing anything. And then they inbox me and show me what they're growing. And I'm like, that is amazing. Like, I love that, because I really would love for everybody. I think everybody should have a small garden, whether it's a pot and you got two things growing out of it, or you got a pot that you grow your own lettuce for your salads if you eat salads every day, or you make smoothies, you're growing spinach, you got two flower pots that you can grow something in. Like, grow something. A garden doesn't have to be a half an acre, or it doesn't have to be a 4x8 garden box. You can have a garden in just a flower pot, or a planter. If you have space to sit it down, you can grow, and you can grow a lot in a little bit of space. Like, the seed packets will tell you how much space your vegetables need, and you can go by that. It's a guideline. It's not it's not necessarily the only, like, those instructions are not the only Like, you don't have to go by that completely. It's a guideline, but you can experiment with your own garden. You can grow multiple things in a pot. Like with broccoli, for instance, I didn't realize how big a broccoli plant grows. And I didn't realize that once you harvest it, it keeps growing. Like, it produces shoots off the side, or that you don't have to only wait for the broccoli to form, because the actual plant that you're growing, I mean, that you're eating, is the flower. The leaves are edible too. So you can make salads with the leaves, or you can cook them like collard greens. When I eat greens, or the greens that I grow from my garden, it's every green that I have, just about. It's turnip, the leaves of the turnip, or radishes even. Like I said, beets, cabbage, everything, broccoli, any greens that I can gather. Kale, I'm gathering them, and I'll cook them all together. I season them the same way, but it's always mixed greens. It's usually hardly ever just one particular green. It's a mixture of everything.
That's what's up. This year was the first time I ever ate cauliflower leaves. So I will always harvest the cauliflower, the beautiful bloom, and eat that, and then be satisfied. And I was like, well, these leaves are really big. Let me see what I can do with them. So I actually baked them, and I put like olive oil on it, and salt and pepper, and some red pepper flakes. And that was the best thing ever, because I used to take the cauliflower, like I said, get the bloom, cook that, and then I would take the leaves and put the leaves in the compost bin. But something said, try it, just try it. So cauliflower leaves are edible, y'all. And it's like, they are delicious, especially if you put, like I said, some olive oil on it, put them in the oven and roast them with some salt and pepper. I like stuff spicy, so I'll put some ghost pepper flakes on there and eat it. It's really, really, really good. So eat those leaves, y'all. But like she said, read the packet. And you don't have to like have a half an acre. You don't have to have a big yard. You can have a pot. I got some turmeric growing right here in a pot.
That's what that is. Yeah. I thought that was a bird of paradise.
No, it's actually turmeric. And I just brought that one in the house for something I was doing a couple weeks ago, and I just left it in the house. But it has to come in the house anyway in the next couple of days, because it's starting to get cold. But this is my yoga room. I usually try to go outside, but I know it's supposed to rain today in Maryland. So I was like, I usually bring out the full band of equipment. I mean, I got lights, I got mixing boards, I got different things, and I try to bring all that stuff outside. But I was like, it's gonna rain, so I don't want to be rushing trying to knock stuff down and fall. So I'm in my yoga room, and this yoga room is a AKA houseplant room as well, and it has grow lights in it. And I put most of my pineapple plants and papaya plants that I have to bring in for the winter in this room. And so, yeah, you can grow right in a pot. This is a pot, and it's growing turmeric in it. The leaves are starting to turn brown, so that means it's almost time to harvest. So, like Natasha said, read those directions on the seeds in the little packets and go for it. I remember when I first started, I would put the whole entire packet in the ground. No, it was a no. I would have, I think I did cucumbers before, and my whole yard was cucumbers. I mean, I had like pickles, fried cucumbers for days. So definitely look at those directions when you're growing your seeds, starting your seeds. What else?
Yeah.
I'm trying to
like
think.
Okay, another I'm growing ginger. I do have a couple of pots of ginger. I tried turmeric, but I think I let the piece get, like, it was too dry. It was basically too dry to even try to plant it. It didn't sprout. But my ginger did good. I actually had 5 pots of ginger, and I gave my mom 2 of them. So she likes it. She's growing them. Well, she may have harvested all of hers, because she kept, like, after a couple months, she was like, yeah, that ginger tastes delicious. I'm like, it's not ready yet.
Yeah. And it's a beautiful
she was like,
plant,
well, I
y'all.
harvested it and I used it and I put it back in there. So I think she takes it and takes off a piece and then puts it back in, in the pot to let it keep growing. But there's no set rules for growing. You just do what works best for you. And I love that. I love that.
Oh yeah, ginger is definitely one of my favorites too. I have a big ginger plant outside, and I just break it off. But it's a beautiful plant when it starts
Yeah.
growing, and then when you really see like it start coming out of the dirt, how like it's green, like this light green and pinkish color. It looks really really cool. But that grows in a pot too because I do bring the ginger in the house and put it in my yoga room here, and put the grow lights on it, get me a piece of ginger, keep it growing. That one that pot has been growing for like 2 years, and the ginger gets like really really big.
Oh, wow.
And folks, all you gotta do is go to a grocery store, get you a thing of ginger,
That's
chop it
it.
up in little pieces, put it in dirt, cover it a little bit,
And leave it.
and you have some ginger. Same with turmeric. Don't let it get too dry, like
Yeah,
Natasha
don't let it
said
get too
hers.
dry like me.
And then you have turmeric as well, and then you just go online and it'll tell you online when to harvest it. I didn't know when to harvest my turmeric, but I
Oh,
found
that's my
out.
mama. I'm sorry. She said,
Okay.
yes, I still have one. That's my mom.
What's up, mama?
She's still watching. I think my husband is in here too. I think I saw him. And
Oh
my
yeah,
sister Keisha.
everybody,
But
you got
yeah.
all the
Hey,
fans in here,
family.
all your fans in here. That's what's up. Thank you, family, for watching Natasha. She
Yeah.
was nervous, y'all. She was nervous. She doesn't sound like she's nervous now,
No.
and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's almost up to an hour, and I don't want to hold you too long. I think I
Okay.
have like maybe one or two other questions. Let me look
Yep,
through my
there he
list.
is. Hey, husband.
Yeah, her husband. Big shout out to her husband because, like I said, me and Natasha were working on some little comedy, acting stuff, and he actually did the comedy, camera work for her.
Yep.
Um, and I'm gonna give you your credit when it comes out next week. Um, for shooting that footage for me. So the world is crazy how you can get someone to, you can be in two different places and they can shoot something and send it to you and you have a product. So I really thank you for taking the time to shoot that and get your husband involved to do that. That was the greatest thing
Um,
ever.
I
And
appreciate the opportunity. Like I
yeah.
would have never thought that gardening would have, I don't do interviews. But I mean I really enjoyed this and I appreciate it. Thanks.
Okay, so my yeah, it's coming. It's gonna be out Monday or Tuesday, folks. Look for me and Natasha doing something. You won't actually see me in it, but a little clip of me in it this time. But Natasha will be all through it. Okay. um, what are your future plans for your gardening? I know you talked about going into some gardening coaching and really taking it to the next level. What are your future plans out of your mouth so we can all hear?
So I am actually working on being a garden coach because I've come across a lot of people who are interested and they have some of the same fears that I had when I got started. So just to show you that it can be done, it's really easy, and to show basically my process of how I grow and my process of my garden. So I do want to really get into coaching people, showing them how to grow their own food because like I said, I believe that everybody should have their own garden, whether it's a big garden or whether it's a pot with a couple of your favorite things that you like to grow. um, I'm doing that, and I'm working on a journal, a gardening journal, because I struggle with keeping up with what I have. Like I'll drop a seed in the ground and forget that I put it there, and then I end up dropping another seed in the same space because I didn't put a label there. I've harvested my watermelons too early sometimes because I didn't keep records of when I planted the seed to know how long it's been in the ground and to give it time to ripen. Just because I'm impatient and I see it and it's like, ooh, it looks like it's ready. It looks like the grocery store watermelons. I'm gonna go ahead and harvest it, and then you slice into it and it's like the seeds are still white, it's barely pink, and it tastes like it doesn't taste like watermelon. So just So I'm working on that, and I think that that'll be a good tool, especially for new gardeners. I know that you work a lot with people who are new to the area, and people who are brand new to gardening.
Yes.
So I
One
feel
of the
like it's a
things,
tool that people could
yeah,
use.
one of the things I tell them in a garden consultation is to start a journal, even though I don't start a journal and I haven't started a journal. And I think I've fallen that same lines where I'm harvesting stuff too soon. But now I've been 12 years in the game. I kind of like know it a little bit more now. But I do push journals on folks to start, especially if they brand new. Write down when they started, what was a success, what wasn't a success, and I think that works for people. I think you should start a Oshi Grows journal and make like a nice little thing where you can start selling those, making them part of your garden consultation. If you book me for a garden consultation, you get my journal. So I try to do clever things like that because I am a garden coach too, and I kind of got into it because of COVID. Even though I was growing longer than that, people when COVID hit, they was like, "I want to start a garden." I was like, "Well, I'm gonna turn it into a business now," and so it is a business for me. But part of my business is to tell people to do journals. So eventually, I might come out with a garden and beat journal where you get a free sample of music attached to it or something like that. Yeah, so keep growing. I'm excited for you. If you need any help starting your garden coaching service, let me know. The hard part is like getting those first two clients that really take it serious because most people think because it's gardening that it's supposed to be free. Oh, I can just go get some seeds and I don't have to pay you to do it. But yeah, make sure you know your worth and stay at it. You know what I'm saying? I can command now up to $150 for a garden consultation, and I'm pretty excited. I don't charge that much for people. Right now, I'm charging a low ball of $40 for an hour, and that's pretty good. But next
But
year,
your time
y'all,
is valuable. You gotta, you gotta know that time is valuable. It's one thing you cannot get back. So,
yeah.
yeah.
So next year, I'm gonna up my prices because I feel like now I have come at a place where I need to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But I have worked on a project that was worth $1,500, worth $3,000, building someone a garden, and so it can get really great. Use your husband to help you build some garden boxes. That way,
He built me my first raised bed. He
okay.
put it together for me. So yeah.
So when you start your garden service, your garden coaching service, you put that in your plans. That way, you know, you'll be a one-stop shop. You give the garden coaching, you tell them how to do it, you provide some seeds, start your own seed company, and then your husband can build some raised garden beds for these people, and then you can start upping your price. So if you only charging $50 for a garden service or consultation, now you can charge 300 because you get some seeds, you get 2 or 3 garden beds, and that's how you do it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Taking notes.
yeah. A couple, and then I'll read a couple comments, then I'll let you go. I
Okay.
think Red Fire Wizard said, "When I buy my land, I'm gonna pay you to come out and help me out." Yeah, invite me and Natasha out so we can make that money together.
Yes.
Auntie Garden 2021 said both of y'all inspirational. Keep growing your garden, Auntie
Thank
Garden.
you.
Amen. Speaking into existence. Yes, I always put that. Someone said, "Put me on payroll." That must be your husband or somebody you know. And someone said, I
Yes,
think
that's him. That's my husband.
there's an app for journal to keep records of everything. It's called Seed to Spoon. I'm gonna look at that.
I
Um,
actually do use that. I do
okay.
use that.
So she used Seed to Spoon. I never heard of that, but that sounds like something that I need to do because I don't keep track of my stuff, and then I wonder why I didn't get this vegetable or this vegetable, or I don't know the difference between the kale and the collard greens until they full blown, and then I don't have no space for the cabbage to grow in between because I
Yeah.
mix the seeds together. Someone said nice. There's a little video camera from Vince. He's the cameraman. Vice 365. He's the cameraman.
That's
Her
my
husband.
husband. Yeah.
Um, what else? I didn't know you could just plant garlic just like that. Yes, you can just plant garlic like that. You're doing a good job, Natasha. And what else? I'm gonna
Yeah.
go. I know you see these comments, but I just want to read them because it's always good to get people. They shout out Paradigm Style says, "Hey, you're welcome. The whole family, love family. I'm here. I need to try that. Everybody's good. Nice trying growing ginger, turmeric in containers. How big should the pot be in your experience?" I started with a small pot, maybe maybe a 12 gallon pot, not 12 gallon, 12-inch pot for my ginger. But now I use Home Depot buckets. So I get the Home Depot buckets and then put some holes in the bottom of it, fill it up
Mhm.
halfway with dirt, throw the ginger and turmeric in there, and then go. This turmeric is in a 5 gallon garden bag. So they have garden bags out there too. They like felt bags, and you can get those off of Amazon and different places like that. But that's a
Mhm.
5 gallon one instead of the bucket. Um, and so I felt like the bucket didn't get wet enough. So when you wet these garden bags, they kind of coffee, so they can stay wet a little bit moist in the summertime, which is really really good. Let's see any more comments before we go. Just collected some turmeric. Yeah, go ahead. Go buy your turmeric now. Go buy some ginger. If you want to plant garlic, go buy your garlic now from the grocery store. Try to stick with the organic, but all the regular garlic works. I experienced both of them. It works. I want to take the time now to thank Natasha DeLong, aka Oshi Grows.
Oh, she
Um,
grows.
Oshi Grows, for joining me today. Next week it'll be another episode, episode 5. I'm going all the way up until December 18th, and I got people from all over the country joining me, and then I'm gonna have a special live broadcast with the little girl from out of Atlanta. She's 6 years old. She's the first certified little black girl gardener in Georgia, and she's gonna come on in November. Her and her parents, and we're gonna have a conversation. I'm really really excited about that. But Natasha, it's been a blast.
Yes,
Any
I've had so
parting
much fun.
words you want to give to the folks out there? Because it's not only just your family watching, there's some other people out there
Yes.
too. Your family gonna support. I love when
Yes, I
family
love it.
support.
I just my words of encouragement are just grow something. Try something. Take one of your dried beans. You got pinto beans, black beans in the cabinet. Put it in a cup, in a solo cup. And when you watch that little bean grow, it's gonna spark something and it'll, just grow something. Start something.
That's what's up, y'all. I'll leave it at that. Just grow something. That could be something that you can put on a shirt. Just grow something.
Just grow
Somebody
something.
might got that, but you know, save that in your journal. Just grow something,
I
because that could be
will.
your little tagline when you really be out there starting your garden business, your garden consultation, because it's all about selling your brand and creating stuff around your brand.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna leave it like this: Grandma and them, in honor of Grandma and them, grow something. All right, grow some
Yes.
rutabagas, some turnips. So look for that shirt. It's coming. It's gonna
Yeah.
be called Grandma and them, in honor of Grandma and them.
Yeah.
So and I came up with that a couple weeks ago on the second episode of Black Gardener Talk, and it works. I was telling the guy Sean D'Angelo, go grow some rutabagas, and I was like, yeah, because Grandma and them used to eat the rutabagas, and so we came up with in honor of Grandma and them, grow
Yeah.
something. So grow something, folks. I'm gonna let her go. Go enjoy the football
Thank you
game.
so much.
Yeah, thank you. See, look, and you're not nervous no more.
No,
And I was more nervous than you, to be honest.
I can't see it.
All right, folks.
All
I always like to leave with my little saying now. Live your life healthy, free from negativity, and always stay dope. All right, peace out.
right, peace.